In life, we've all met them. Those people who seem to have unlocked a secret. They achieve their goals with ease. A dream job, a luxury car, a life filled with opportunities. While others struggle, they move effortlessly, as if the universe is working in their favor. But here's the strange part. They never seem rushed, never desperate, never worried. They don't chase success. Success chases them. And maybe at some point, you've found yourself asking, why does it seem so easy for them, but so hard for me? Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This one sentence holds the key to their secret. They don't waste time in fear. They don't waste energy forcing things. Instead, they master self-control. They adjust their mindset, and they align their actions every single day. And because of that, everything flows naturally toward them. Meanwhile, those who constantly push, chase, and force, they only seem to push their desires further away. The truth is, you don't manifest by struggling. You manifest by aligning yourself with what you seek. And today we're going to explore this secret through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Because when you learn to master calmness, detachment, and flow, you will no longer have to chase success. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, step by step. So leave your like and subscribe to the channel, because by the end of this video, you'll have a new understanding of how life truly works. And you'll never look at success the same way again. Number 1. The power of calm. Calmness is not weakness. Calmness is control. There are moments in life when everything seems to spiral out of control. Unexpected setbacks, uncertainty, high-pressure decisions. Most people panic. They react impulsively, driven by fear. They scramble, trying to fix everything at once, only to make things worse. But then there are those who remain still. They do not flinch. They do not let external chaos dictate their internal state. And because of that, they always see things clearly. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. Most of the stress we carry isn't real. It's a story we tell ourselves. We imagine failure before it happens. We overthink decisions until we're paralyzed. We create problems in our minds that don't even exist. But the Stoics understood. Calmness is power. Because when you are calm, you don't just survive the storm. You become the storm's master. Look at Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger. On January 15th, 2009, his plane lost both engines just minutes after takeoff. 155 lives depended on his next move. Most people would freeze. Panic would be understandable, but he didn't. He silenced the noise in his mind. He assessed the situation with absolute clarity. He made one of the most critical decisions in aviation history. And because of that, he landed the plane safely on the Hudson River, saving every single passenger on board. Panic would have led to disaster. Calmness led to survival. In life, you will face unexpected turbulence, a failed opportunity, a financial setback, a personal crisis. The question is, will you panic, or will you remain calm and navigate through it with clarity? Because those who remain calm, those who refuse to be shaken by the chaos around them, are the ones who always find a way forward. And here's the real secret. Calmness doesn't just help you survive challenges. It actually helps you attract success. Because while most people waste energy on stress and fear, the calm individual moves with precision. They see opportunities others overlook. They make decisions from a place of wisdom, not emotion. And that's why life unfolds in their favor. But calmness alone is not enough. You must also learn to let go, to stop resisting, to stop fighting the current. Because the more you force life, the harder it pushes back. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about something even more powerful than calmness, the ability to let everything flow naturally. Number 2, let everything flow naturally. Wouldn't it be incredible if life just worked? If things happened effortlessly? If opportunities appeared at the right time? If success came without the constant stress and struggle? Most people don't believe this is possible. They are always pushing, forcing, trying to control everything, only to end up exhausted, frustrated, and stuck. But here's the truth. The harder you force something, the more resistance you create. Think about water. When you try to grasp it, it slips through your fingers. But when you let it flow, it moves effortlessly, finding its own way. Life works the same way. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Most people think life is hard, so they fight against it. They believe success is a battle, so they struggle endlessly. But those who let go, who stop fighting the current, move through life with ease. Look at J.K. Rowling. Before becoming a global literary icon, she faced relentless rejection. Publisher after publisher turned her down. Most people would have quit. Most people would have forced themselves into a different path. But she didn't. She couldn't control whether publishers accepted her book, but she could control her persistence. So she let go of the obsession with immediate success. She focused on what she could control: her craft, her writing, her belief in her story. And eventually, the right opportunity found her. This is what happens when you stop forcing life to happen your way and allow it to unfold its way. Because sometimes, what we think we want is far less than what life actually has in store for us. So ask yourself, how many times have you tried to control every detail of your life, only for things to fall apart? How often have you chased something desperately, only to realize later that it wasn't even what you truly needed? The Stoics understood something most people never realize. You do not need to chase what is meant for you. It will come when you are ready. Your job is not to force life into submission. Your job is to align yourself with what you seek, through your actions, your mindset, your energy. Because when you do, you will notice something strange happen. Doors will open. The right people will appear. The right opportunities will unfold, not through control, but through alignment. And this is where we take things even deeper. Because there's a force at play here that most people don't understand. A force that determines what you attract, what you create, and what your future looks like. Number 3, the law of attraction and Stoicism. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are shaping your future. With every thought, every emotion, every action, you are setting something in motion. Most people believe their lives are dictated by luck, external circumstances, or forces beyond their control. But the Stoics knew better. They understood a fundamental truth. Your reality is a reflection of what you focus on. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." What does that mean? It means abundance is not about constantly chasing more. It's about aligning yourself with the right mindset, the right habits, the right energy. And when you do that, you naturally attract what you seek. Because the law of attraction isn't about wishful thinking. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally brings success into their life. Look at Jim Carrey. Before he was famous, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, long before he had any real success. Every day, he visualized himself achieving that level of wealth, not with desperation, not with stress, but with belief. And years later, he was paid exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Was it magic? No. It was alignment. He became the kind of person who thought, acted, and moved in a way that attracted success. And that's the secret. Most people want success, but their actions, thoughts, and emotions are in direct conflict with what they seek. They say they want wealth, but they spend time obsessing over what they lack. They say they want love, but they hold on to fear, doubt, and insecurity. They say they want opportunity, but they resist change. The Stoics understood that your thoughts shape your perception, and your perception shapes your actions. So ask yourself, are you focusing on problems or possibilities? Are you consumed by fear or driven by confidence? Are you acting like someone who is ready for success or someone who is still doubting it? Because here's the truth. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And that means, if you want to change what you receive from life, you must first change what you put into it. And that starts with one thing, your presence. Because nothing you want can come into your life if your mind is scattered, distracted, or lost in fear. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about one of the most overlooked factors in success, the ability to be fully present. Because attention isn't just focus, it's power. And those who control their attention control their future. Number 4. The power of presence and prosperity. Most people think success is about money. They believe wealth is measured in numbers, possessions, status. But what if I told you true prosperity has nothing to do with what you own? What if I told you that the most valuable resource in your life is something you can't buy back? Something most people waste every single day: your attention. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless notifications, mindless scrolling. Our attention is constantly being pulled in 100 directions. And yet the Stoics knew something that modern society has forgotten. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And what determines the quality of your thoughts? Your ability to control your focus. Look at some of the most successful people in history. They weren't just hardworking. They had the ability to lock in, to eliminate distractions, to focus their minds like a laser on what truly mattered. Take Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, and yet he doesn't attribute his success to intelligence or luck. He attributes it to his ability to say no, to distractions, to wasted time, to anything that pulls his attention away from what actually moves him forward. Because prosperity isn't just about what you gain, it's about what you don't allow to take from you. So ask yourself, how much of your time is spent on things that don't serve your future? How often do you let distractions steal your focus? How many opportunities have you missed? Not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't fully present. This is the hidden secret of success. The richest people in the world aren't just financially wealthy, they are attentionally wealthy. They know that where their focus goes, their energy flows, and that's why they don't waste it on things that don't matter. So if you want to manifest wealth, opportunity, abundance, start by mastering your attention. Because a distracted mind cannot create a powerful life. And the first step to controlling your attention, learning how to slow down. Because in a world that glorifies speed, the true masters of success understand that the greatest power lies in stillness. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about one of the most misunderstood success secrets of all time, the power of sleep and dreams, and how they can shape your future in ways you never imagined. Number 5. The importance of sleep and dreams. Most people see sleep as a luxury. They think success comes from working late, pushing harder, sacrificing rest. But what if I told you that some of the greatest breakthroughs in history, some of the most powerful ideas, the most world-changing discoveries, didn't come from working harder, they came from sleeping better? Because here's what most people don't realize. Your mind doesn't stop working when you sleep. In fact, that's when it does its most powerful work. Thomas Edison knew this. The man who brought light to the world didn't just rely on hard work. He relied on his dreams. He would hold a steel ball in his hand while sitting in a chair. As he drifted into sleep, his grip would loosen, the ball would fall, and the noise would wake him up, allowing him to catch ideas right at the edge of his subconscious. Some of his greatest inventions came from this practice. Because the truth is, your dreams are speaking to you. They are showing you ideas, solutions, paths forward that your waking mind is too distracted to see. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this well. He once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And where do the highest quality thoughts come from? From a well-rested mind. From a mind that is allowed to dream, process, and create without noise, without stress, without distraction. Yet most people rob themselves of this power. They stay up late. They drown their minds in distractions. They never allow their subconscious to work for them. And then they wonder why they feel lost, why they can't find clarity, why they never seem to make the right decisions. The Stoics understood that mental clarity is everything. And one of the easiest, most overlooked ways to gain that clarity is by simply giving your mind the rest it needs. So if you want to manifest success, stop depriving yourself of the one thing that allows your mind to operate at its highest level. Because sleep isn't just about rest. It's about creation. It's about transformation. It's about accessing the part of your mind that holds the answers you've been searching for. And here's the real secret. Your subconscious already knows the path to your success. The question is, are you allowing it to speak? Because those who understand how to quiet the noise rest deeply, and listen to their dreams often find answers that others never will. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about something even more powerful than sleep: how you start your morning. Because if you master your nights, but waste your mornings, you're still missing half the equation. And in the next part, I'm going to show you how the world's most successful people use their mornings to take control of their destiny. Part 6. The power of morning habits. The way you start your morning is the way you live your life. Most people wake up reacting. They check their phones first thing. They rush through the day. They let the world dictate their emotions before they've even had a chance to take control. But the world's most successful people, they don't wake up to the world. They wake up for the world. Because they know that morning is the foundation of everything. Barack Obama, one of the busiest men on the planet, starts every morning the same way, with exercise and reflection. Before making the biggest decisions in the world, he makes sure his body and mind are in the right state. Because he knows this truth: if you don't take control of your morning will take control of you. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest minds in history, had a simple but powerful morning habit. Each day, before speaking to anyone, before engaging with the chaos of the world, he sat down with his journal. He asked himself questions. He prepared his mind. He reminded himself of who he wanted to be that day, because he knew the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And if you allow the world to paint your mind with stress, distractions, and anxiety the moment you wake up, that will be the tone of your entire day. But if you start your morning with intention, with focus, with calmness, with clarity, then you set the direction of your life on your own terms. So ask yourself, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Are you reacting to life, or are you preparing for it? Do you start your day with purpose, or do you let the world dictate how you feel? Because here's the truth: if you don't own your morning, you don't own your life. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think success is about doing more, but the secret is actually about doing less of the wrong things and more of what actually moves you forward. And the best way to ensure that: visualizing what you want. Because when you can see it clearly in your mind, you make it real in your life. Number 7. The power of visualization. Everything that exists in your life right now was once just a thought. Every success, every failure, every moment of joy, every moment of struggle, it all started in your mind before it became real. Because whether you realize it or not, you are constantly shaping your future with your thoughts. The problem is, most people are doing it unconsciously. They are visualizing failure instead of success. They are imagining worst-case scenarios instead of opportunities. They are repeating stories of doubt instead of belief. But the world's most successful people, they don't just let their thoughts run wild. They direct them with purpose. Jim Carrey did this long before he was famous. At a time when he was struggling, unknown, and broke, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, dated it for 5 years in the future, and carried it in his wallet every day. He didn't just wish for it. He saw it. He felt it. He believed it. And years later, he was paid exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Coincidence? Or proof that what you focus on expands? Marcus Aurelius understood this centuries before modern psychology confirmed it. He once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Because the truth is, your thoughts shape your perception, and your perception shapes your reality. So if you want to change your life, you must first change how you see it. And visualization isn't just about success. It's about mental preparation. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, or preparing for the worst. They would visualize challenges before they happened. Not to create fear, but to create unshakable confidence. Because when you've already seen yourself overcoming obstacles in your mind, you step into the real world with certainty. You become calm under pressure. You act from belief, not fear. So ask yourself, what are you seeing in your mind every day? Are you imagining success or failure? Are you rehearsing confidence or doubt? Because what you see in your mind is what you will create in your life. And this leads us to the final and most powerful secret of all, the ability to do nothing. Because in a world that tells you to hustle harder, push more, and never stop, the true masters of success understand something most people don't. Silence is power. And in the next chapter, I'm going to show you why the greatest breakthroughs, the greatest moments of clarity, and the greatest transformations happen in stillness. Number 8. The power of silence and stillness. In a world that never stops moving, where noise is constant, where distractions are everywhere, where we are told that success comes from doing more, pushing harder, working longer, there is a secret that most people overlook. The most powerful people in history, the great thinkers, the greatest leaders, the most successful individuals, have all understood one truth. Silence is power. Because in stillness, the mind clears. In silence, answers emerge. In doing nothing, the right path reveals itself. Albert Einstein knew this. He once said, "I am not very smart. I just spend more time thinking about the questions that others ignore." While the world was rushing, while others were lost in distractions, he took time to be still, to reflect, to let ideas come to him. The greatest scientific breakthroughs, the greatest works of art, the greatest philosophies in history were not created in chaos. They were born in silence. And the Stoics knew this long before modern science confirmed it. They practiced daily stillness, time set aside not to work, not to think, but simply to be, because they knew, when the mind is quiet, it becomes powerful. Most people are afraid of silence. They drown themselves in noise, in distractions, in endless movement, because sitting still forces them to face their own thoughts. But those who embrace silence, who learn to be comfortable in stillness, unlock something incredible. They become immune to the chaos of the world. They find clarity where others find confusion. They make better decisions, not because they react faster, but because they react wiser. So here's the final lesson. You do not need to force life. You do not need to fight every battle, chase every goal, or struggle for every opportunity, because everything you want is already moving toward you. The question is, are you still enough to receive it? Because when you stop running, when you stop forcing, when you stop chasing, you will realize something profound. What you were searching for was already on its way to you. And when you master calmness, when you learn to let go, when you control your attention, when you visualize your future, and when you embrace silence, you will no longer have to manifest success. You will become the kind of person that success naturally finds. Your journey begins now. You've now learned the secret that few people ever understand. You've seen how the Stoics mastered manifestation, not through force, but through alignment. Now the only question left is, will you apply it? If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Leave a like on this video to let me know it reached you. And if you're ready to continue this journey, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson that could change your life. Once you begin to live by these principles, once you start moving with calmness, acting with intention, and trusting the flow of life, everything will begin to shift. And one day, someone will look at you and ask, why does success seem to come so easily to you? And you will smile, because you will know it was never about chasing. It was always about becoming. Thank you very much for watching. I believe in you. Now, go on and take control of your life. This is your moment.